Hello everybody, welcome back. It is Sunday morning. No need to tell you where I am because you can see exactly where I am. And I'm on my way to work. This is exactly where the last vlog ended. So now we're heading on northwards, northways, in a northerly direction towards work. So let's go. We started our first vlog just pretty much outside Central Pier. So the second one is going to be outside of North Pier. And I don't need to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. North Pier is my favourite pier. You all will know that because I say it pretty much every time I walk past. But just look at it, folks. Isn't North Pier the most beautiful of all the piers? I wish you still had the jetty on the end so you could walk right out to the end of that. That used to be fun. And I do remember when they used to do helicopter pleasure rides off the end of the jetty. They had kind of installed a big helipad and they would do pleasure rides, and I remember when they started doing that I was like, oh, I really want to do that. I'm going to save up, I'm going to go, and I kept putting it off and putting it off, and then before you knew it they were gone. So I missed my chance to go on a helicopter pleasure ride, which was kind of sad, but never mind. But I mean, I'm sure there'll be other opportunities to ride in a helicopter. I'd probably be amazed and terrified and excited and horrified and terrified. Did I say terrified? All at the same time. I mean, I was pretty much really scared when I rode the Starflyer, but I don't know, I think a helicopter would be less scary. It's not about the height, you know, it's about how safe you feel at that height. I'm not that afraid, I don't think, at least of being high up. It's the prospect and the thought of falling from that height that scares me. And I mean, once you get above about, what, 30 feet, your fall could be fatal anyway, so 33 to 300 feet doesn't really make a lot of difference, if that makes sense. But yeah, the Starflyer was scary because it was all windy and my little car that I was sat in was bobbling and wobbling about. And somebody did tell me as well that you need to get somebody sat with you when you go on the Starflyer, because if you're on your own it's likely to wobble more, especially if you don't weigh a lot. And I mean, I'm not super tiny, but I weigh about 8 stone, 112 pounds is that. So whilst I'm not super tiny, I'm not heavy, and my little car was bobbling all over the place. So I wonder if it'll come back again this coming Christmas, winter. I think they should bring the Starflyer in the summer, to be honest. Better weather. I mean, I understand things coming for the winter and the Christmas, especially now that Blackpool have that Christmas village thing going. But yeah, I think it'd be good for the summer. And I'm sure I remember one year, didn't they have a big wheel on St John's Square one year? I think they did. I mean, they did have, I know they had one on the square in Manchester, because I went shopping with my daughter to Manchester the day, probably about 10 years ago now. And I went on the big wheel there, so it's possible my memory could be a little bit confused. But I'm sure that they had one in Blackpool one year. I mean, I know initially they were going to put the Starflower on St John's Square, and then they decided it wouldn't be safe. But yeah, I think they did. If you can remember, did they have the big wheel on St John's Square one year? Let me know, because I feel like I'm sure they did. But guys, the Metropole Hotel, very iconic and unusual hotel, because it's the only hotel in Blackpool that is actually on this side, the beach side of the promenade. And I've told the story in other videos, but I did used to work there when I was a young teen. It was, I'd say a summer, but it wasn't really a summer, it was like half a summer. It was one of the worst experiences ever. Back then it was a horrible place to work at. I mean, it didn't help that I was a surly teen. Although I don't know if I was that surly, to be honest. I mean, I think as teens go, I was fairly shy and quiet. Got all the old railings and benches down here. The new prom bit is at the bottom, but we've still got the old railings here on the top and the old style benching, and we've got the old promenade shelters here. I mean, I always used to call these bus shelters when I was younger, but obviously they're not bus shelters because no buses come down here. But these shelters are so beautiful, and the way they're built, you can always sit somewhere and shield yourself from the wind, no matter what direction the wind's coming from. You can move to a different seat and avoid the wind because of the way they're built. But just thinking back to the past, especially as we continue on, and you can see down there the old promenade just heading towards Bispham. Many years ago, when this prom was first built, those benches would have been full. Got the old cobbly slope there. That would have been for pulling the old bathing huts down onto the prom many years ago, and other things. Yeah, those nice old cobbles going down there. I bet they've seen a lot of feet and wheels and carts and animals and all sorts walking down. I think I'm going to stay on the higher level today, because although I've done this walk many times, and I've filmed it a fair few times as well, I haven't done the whole North Prom walk all the way lately. Also, it's going to be busy down there because the marathon is on today, so you can see people walking down that way in the distance, and they'll be all ready to compete in the Blackpool Marathon. That's something that I've got on my bucket list to do, marathon. I will do one eventually. I need to get healthier. I mean, I can easily walk 26 miles, but jogging 26 miles or even power walking 26 miles, I don't know. I did do a half marathon at college, once. That was a big mistake, because when I was a kid at high school I was like super good at cross country, and I was the best school by quite a long way, and I used to go to these meets at Stanley Park, and I'd pretty much always finish in the top 10. I'd always come like 6th, 7th or 8th, and I wasn't a bad little cross country runner, but I thought I was way better than I was. And I just thought, yeah, I'm so good at running. And when I went to college I entered a road race, and it was only like 2.5 miles or 2.2 miles or something, and I won that somehow, and that made me think I was really good at running. So yeah, the next time they did a half marathon, and obviously there's a big difference between running a race that's 2.3 miles and running a half marathon. And I didn't train for it. I just thought, oh, I'll be able to do it. I'm young and fit, I like running, I can keep running forever. And I started off this half marathon way too fast. I was miles in front of everybody. Well, not miles, not literally miles, but you know what I mean. I was a good long way in front of everybody, all the women, all the men, all the club runners, all the elite runners, and I'm just run, thinking like, I'm better than I thought I was. This is easy peasy, I'm going to win this by miles, I'm going to be in the Gazette, I'm going to beat everybody. Then I got to about 5 miles in, and I started to get tired. And then about 5.5 miles in, I started to get really tired. And then all my legs, and like lactic acid and everything. And I felt like I couldn't walk, and I eventually finished it. But I came something like 36th. And that sounds better than it is, because it wasn't a massive race. There weren't that many people in it. I think I was something like 8th or 9th out of the women and 36 overall. But like I said, that makes me sound a lot better than I am, because pretty much all the elite runners beat me by miles and miles and miles, and I just beat everybody who was older than me and more untrained than me. But I still would like to do a marathon at some point. Maybe I could make it a goal to do next year's. You know, if I start practicing jogging, because I live near Stanley Park, I live near the prom, so I can jog down the prom, or even briskly walk down the prom, just get my stamina up, start to feel healthier, start to feel better. Could I get fit enough in a year to run a marathon? I think I could. Because when I say run a marathon, I don't mean like run it and do a brilliant time. I just mean complete a marathon. That would be my aim. Probably to complete it in less than 5 hours. Anyway, I've prattled on long enough. It's probably time to end this video now. So I'm going to say thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you all soon in the next video. Goodbye.